Hey folks, Mr. Justin here with Secret Weapon Miniatures and another Workbench Wednesday. Very glad to have you with me here this week. Thank you for tuning in. Of course, if this is your first time joining, please remember to like, subscribe, bells, whistles, all the clicks you need to do to make sure that you get to keep up with everything going on inside the Secret Weapon Miniatures studio. And yeah, speaking of this week, oh my gosh, I have so many good things this week. Let's go to split view here. Woo! A cotton swab. You know it's going to be amazing. Nope, just kidding. That's trash. All right. Gaslands. We are starting on Gaslands this week. And that is because, let's see if I actually have one I haven't cut apart yet. I've been at these pieces so hard. I've just been enamored. So here is set number one, mostly intact. But this is a set of brass etch that we've done in cooperation with Michael over at Industria Mechanica. So we've picked this up and are going to be selling this. This frame in my hand is what I used to make this car. So we've got the rivets on the armor plates. We've got a screen for the front windshield. And of course this incredible plow on the front. Oh, and my spiky tires. In fact, this is why I'm late to the broadcast this morning, as I realized I'd gotten everything built but not primed. So need to throw some primer on these. Let's see. So that's 1-1. This is frame 2. So I have a year 3, year 3, year 2, year 3. And you can see I've really been cutting these up. I've been too excited to play with them. So here is set number 2, mostly. So we've got the turret, more wheel spikes, covers, grills, grates, windows, the buzz saws. Don't have one of those attached to a car yet, but I did build one. Still where I left it. No, of course not. My rush to clean up the desk this morning, of course, I probably swept that off to the side somewhere. But we've got the blades here and these little bits here. And sure enough, you get the rivets on that side. I'll show you guys how to deal with those. And then you fold it over on top of this, attach it to your car, and boom, you've got a buzzsaw blade sticking off the side. Hey, cakes, bye. Likewise, an offset ladder. And in fact, I used some of those pieces to make my van. So I've got the grates on the windows, grates on the windows. This is the turret. Oh, I got a little gap though. Fix that with some glue later. And of course, oops, I knocked it down a little bit last night trying to get a pilot or a gunner in there. Fix that real quick, real gently. There we go. So it's got the ammo box on there as well. And then I used a section of the offset ladder here in the back. Now that, of course, that offset ladder, if you're building anything like a rig or something, it's great because because it's brass, it's easy to bend it around the shape of your model. So you can actually make that a curved ladder. All right, so that is frame number 2, also covered in spiky bits. Frame number 3, yeah, no chance I have one of these intact, but I can show you the bits and pieces in action here. So this fun one, I'll actually show you this fun one first. This fun one right here is actually part of the rocket launcher, and I did not prime that one because that vehicle's not ready. Where did you go? Uh-oh. Oh, I did prime that one. Haha, it is ready. So that rocket launcher is right here. And of course, you've probably already noticed the other cool looking plow that we get for this one. And I've adjusted that up a bit intentionally, but I can also angle it down if I chose, because, hey, it's brass. And I put the runners on the side of this one. And there are different ways to attach those, including rivets and such, but I did not want to do that. So let's see. What else is fun on this one that I've got to show off? An additional turret ring or hatch ring. Hatch cover. More spikes, gear shift. One of these, is it this one? It's not this one, it must be number 2. And if it's not number 2, it's going to be number 1. That's kind of how this works, Justin. Let's see. It is number 1. It has these side mirrors then, and engine detail. I say that, and then I'm still not finding it. But I can show you one in action, even if I can't remember which frame it's on at the moment. This is one of my pieces that did not get much in the way of brass etch, just the little engine detail there and the skull here. Whereas I just made the gun from plastic card. So that was pretty simple. But you'll notice the little side mirror here at the front. That brass etch, Greg, first, thanks for joining us again. Always great to see you. Glad to have you. That brass etch is a secret weapon product that we are releasing in the next couple of weeks. It'll be part of our June releases. And this was done in cooperation with Michael at Industria Mechanica. Great source for really good garage kits. If that's what you're looking for today, there's no better place, including all the Ian McCoy flying ship stuff. It's really high quality work. Always loved it. So yeah, now we've got the brass etch bits. So I'm going to play with some of these bits before I get to painting my team here. Dun, dun, dun. Da-da-da, da-da-da. And the taxi, which is pretty much finished. Let me get the zoom working manually here again. Configure video. Open up an entirely different window. Change the focus. There we go. All right, so I've got my car with a 360-degree turret. That's how I did the turret on this one. It was simply an elevated firing point. Not sure which gunner I'm going to put in there, but I did discover, much to my entertainment, that we have a bunch of these old Star Wars figures and such. Might as well get them on camera. And one of the things that has very much amused me, and was originally going to be my plan for this, but I'm going to try one of the other gunners, was to stick the astromech right in here. My astromech is now a 360 flamethrower. And I may still just to get a laugh from some folks, but I also like this guy's missing his arms at the moment, but yeah, get the gunners in here and whatnot. Almost fit in the cars, which would be great. Especially since, didn't come back. Oh, well, we can do a little Deanna Troy action. Maybe she should drive. All right. So this one, I'm not going to do much to, of course. It's mostly finished as is. I'm just going to weather it. And, yeah. But these guys I'll wind up painting up as a cohesive team. I'm not sure what that's going to look like yet, but we'll figure that out together. And yeah, I also want a chance to play with some of the other brass. So let's get to showing off some brass components here. Move those guys where you can still see them because they kick butt. All right, let's see. I've got my Poison Pinto here. I've got my other buggy. I have a sack full of cars and trucks and whatnot down here next to me. Putting this one here. So I am going to just pick a frame and get going. Find some pieces that interest me on frame number 1. I probably need to build at least one of these plows for you so that you guys can see how that goes together. There's also, this one is a roof rack. And I just saw that, but of course that means I won't be able to find it again. I found the stop sign. I found this panel. Hey, I found that panel. Roof rack. Tailgate box. Alright, so here is the teensy weensy roof rack. And there are offsets. You have little straps in here you can use to offset the roof rack and whatnot. I don't know that I'm gonna. But yeah, I like the idea of having the roof rack on the back of this thing. Put some schmutz and some gear in there. Also a little milk crate. Little plastic ones. So let's figure out from frame one, what do I want to use right now? I've got wheel spikes, I've got barbed wire, I've got the ammo and hubcaps, and the plow, gun, knife. Frame three. Let's find one with intact window pieces. Oh yeah, I like that. Alright, so I am going to take another piece from frame three here. And that is this one. Right here. Actually, before I cut it out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain the rivets. So you'll notice that on this side, there are little gaps, little dots, divots. See the little divots? You can use those just as is, but that's no fun. What you want to do is take a pen, or in my case, I'll grab Mr. Probe. Hey, Probity. Give it a tiny little push in each of those divots. Now, there's only a couple of little tabs holding this to the frames. Cut those, top and bottom. Michael did a great job doing the layout for this. So now, with my little push from the other side, now I have rivets. I can saturate that a bit more from the proper side. Push a little too gently. So now, you can see I get raised rivets on this side. Easy peasy, right? It's so great. All right. So now you have the option, if you want to keep your windshield, obviously paint these ahead of time so you can keep it clear, or mask your windshield before you spray the vehicle. But I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna put this right over the top, and I'm going to do that with a little bit of glue. I should put that glue on the bottom. Get that attached to the bottom first. I'm just going to use a little Mr. Proby here to contour that to the windshield. Leave that in place to dry. But just like that, I already have my first piece of up armor for this guy. Oh, the probe. You're not resting flush. There we go. Thank you. All right, I'm going to get another one of those really amazing cotton swabs. Put a little drop of glue right there, right there. Then use my cotton swab to clean it up. Just a probe to make sure the rivet pieces are pressed against the roof. Whoop, whoop. Pew, pew. And hold that for a few seconds. While I'm doing that, I can look at some of the other pieces. I do have the tailgate box back here that I could put goodies into. I have the roof rack already built and ready to go. I don't have plans for this one, so I haven't actually spent points in this vehicle yet. I'm just building for fun. Do the roll cage. Window covers. What's on frame 2 over here? Well, Will Riker is sitting on frame 2, but he doesn't count. Oh, hey, I glued myself to the model. Good. It's going to make it stronger. All right, let's see. The plow, the milk jug. I got a roof rack. Maybe this one needs rockets too. Let's do this rockets on this one. We can show you guys how great that little piece is. Hey, Heather. Thank you for joining us. Nice to see you. Today I'm showing off new new brass etch for Gaslands that we're doing in cooperation with Michael at Industria Mechanica. I've been showing off my little Gaslands team here. Vroom, vroom. All detailed up with bits from this. And right now, I am going to build a teeny tiny rocket launcher. So I'm just cutting off the frets. Boop, boop. Now it helps when you're doing brass etch. Helps to have some flat pliers, a ruler, hobby knife, obviously a hobby knife, but something to help you bend, because you'll see all those little lines on there. Those exist to help you fold. I am just going to open the sides up again, mortar them nice and tight so that I had their edges so that it was easy to push all back together again here. Boom. Just like that, rocket launcher. And welcome, Kevin Clark. Good to see you. All right, so let's take my rocket launcher here. And ooh, I had a little bit of flash there. Didn't get a fret all the way off. That was going to interfere with it closing, so get that all sorted out. All right, there's my rocket launcher all back to form and shape. Maybe I'll make the riser for this one. Let's do that. You come off of frame 3, so the risers for you are going to be right here. Right there. Now these can be a bit tricky because they're so fine. Whoop, not even on the screen. We have pieces in the works for Gaslands that include resin engines, terrain accessories, movement counters, a whole bit. So you'll be able to get complete support for your Gaslands game directly from Secret Weapon. And my pliers are mystery, wrapped in enigma. Oh, and I broke it because this fold line is so fine that, like I said, these can be a bit fiddly. So I'll leave the riser off for now or use some plastic card. Let's do that. I should still have my plastic card here from when I was making my own. Oh, I put it over here. I cleaned it up. No wonder I can't find anything. Alright. Let's get some strip from a bag I apparently have not opened, which is just bizarre. Boom, boom. And kaboom. Alright, so there's my rocket launcher. What else am I going to play with? What else am I going to play with? Well, I should probably do something about those big open side windows. Let's see if this fits. I know that the Poison Pinto has very big windows. These are an unusual size, but you do get your both angled and rounded covers. Get on my knife. Yeah, see, the windows are going to be too big for this one. So let's see. What can I do about that? We do have other options. Leave that there for the moment. I've got the larger side square panels. Do those over the side. Don't want to. What else have I got? I think for the moment, well, I can always do the doors. Doors are a good addition. And that can also be done as offset armor as well, instead of actually just attaching it to the vehicle like I did on the other one. And there are spacers for that here. Again, they're going to be a little fiddly. Be prepared for that. That's why there's some extras. Or like I suggested, just use a bit of plastic rod to keep that off. So let me, even if I don't use it, I want to show you guys one of the doors. Armored door panels. So again, on this side, smooth and flat. On this side, we've got our fold line and all of our little divots. So I'm going to take Mr. Probe, press out those rivets. Again, you can use a pen. Probably use a toothpick. If you don't mind stabbing yourself in the hand for fun. That's alright, everybody needs a hobby. Now there are other ways to get rivets in brass, but this one looks the best. You can actually etch the rivet in place just by starting with thicker brass and etching off a layer down to the rivets, but then they are perfectly round and flat. And that's not very rivet-like, is it? Say no, because that's the correct answer. Alright, so I have done my pressing, and now let me get my manual focus machine ready to go. Bend right there. Whoop. Good chunk. More focus. So yeah, now I've got conical rivets along the outside of that plate. And when I apply them directly to the vehicle, here's what they look like. And again, I could use the offsets to bring it out from the body, but I chose not to. So, get my rocket launcher on top of Poison Pinto. See how it stands off now. There we go. I want it in the back. A little bit of glue. Oh, a little bit of focus. A little bit of glue. A reminder to turn my phone on DMG. Sorry about that, folks. Don't dry yet. You're not straight. Now you're straight. So there's my offset rocket launcher. My window protection. Pew pew pew. And again, I have one of the rocket launchers already primed up and attached to this one here. Oop, I keep messing up the runners I've got on there. All right, something else that you guys need to see. Why don't we talk about that turret real quick? Because that turret is simple. Assuming I can find one of those frames. There we are. So the turret, seriously, could not be simpler. You cut it out, you fold it along the lines, and you get that nice box turret that I have for this one, complete with its machine gun and ammo box. Oh, here are the mirrors that I was talking about earlier, like I'm using here on my buggy. And well, there's the roll cage. Do we need to talk about the roll cage? There's even a roll cage in here, man. This stuff is crazy. I love it. So that's the roll cage. I used the whole thing. I've used part of the roll cage off of this frame. I need to find a whole roll cage for you. I've been using up the bits so quick. I am just in love with. So I need set 2. You're missing completely. You're set 3. You're set 1. It's going to be organized. 2, 3, 3, 3. Looks over at my son's desk where I gave him some. It's my time to steal a thing. And that is the frame width. I also have to show off because my kid's been building. And boy, has he been building. I mean, look at this thing. Ready to go. He's got his rockets. It's got a stripe painted down, of course. It's racing stripe. But he put the armored doors on both sides. He also built the plow. Up armored the back, sort of. He's having fun. He's got a bunch of them painted up over here. All right, but this one, his does have the roll cage. All right, I'm stealing his roll cage. Because this is an incredible piece of the frame. I have a buggy that I used it on, but I can't find it this morning, so I'm actually wondering if my kid didn't bugger off with my buggy. All right, so gonna go right through there. And of course, each sheet comes with instructions. not going to have to worry about remembering all of this. And welcome, Stephen. It's good to see you here. All right, so I have pressed it through there. Well, actually, go ahead and fold this. I think it's easier if I fold it first. So, in that little gap between the two, I can see it. I'm also not wearing my proper glasses. It's a mess today. There we go. So I now have the support in the middle. So I'm going to hold that there, fold these down, fold this down, pinch, pinch, roll cage. Where's my other buggy? Oh, right here. I even have it out just for this. Let's get you into the zone over here. So I will be able to give this buggy its roll cage very easily. Boom. Roll cage in my buggy like it's supposed to have. Yeah. Leave that there, so now I know where that is. And let's see, have I gotten in a game yet? No, to be honest, I have not, but that is not unusual for me. Getting to play games is rare. But I will definitely be getting in a game of this. I am excited, my wife is excited, my kid is clearly excited. We're all going to wind up playing Gaslands together. So the last thing I'm going to do before I do a bit of painting is start putting together the plow. Put together this plow. So this is another one that's multiple pieces, but so simple my son did it without instruction, just by looking at my example, which I thought was really cool. I woke up and he's like, "Hey Papa, look, holy crap, look at you." All right, so I need that, each of these. All right. Change of focus. Bring the camera down. Get you guys a closer look at this. What I'm doing. Make sure we've got light. Get the finished cars out of the way. You guys are for later. And we've got my plow on screen. All right, so here are the pieces for my plow. Boom. Boom. In fact, let's get crazy with the camera today. There we go. I'm zooming you in and everything. Suddenly want to start doing my best Tiny Tina impersonation. Be all up in your brass. All right, so another one where I have the little fold marks. So I'm going to fold these two pieces. Nice and flat. Easy peasy, have this little bit. Going to take the base of the pile, fold these up. All right, take this one. Get in my hand. Thank you. And fold it. Take this one. And you guessed it. All right, so now I have all these little widgets, and all I have to do is start with this one in the middle. Boom. And then boom. You see? So I will add a little tiny bit of glue across here. Moved before it cures. My handy dandy cotton swab. Pull up any excess. Just like that, I have the plow. And that one, when it's attached to the standoff frame, looks like this. All right. But now, I want to get painting. So I'm going to paint some Gaslands. That's my plan. All right. My blade back, because I'm good with that. And focus right there. All right. Pressure's on. Cups. Here, handy. So let's see. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna do some weathering, of course, but I don't want these to be big rusty hulks, believe it or not. I want a cohesive looking team. I'm gonna go straight to my mech colors. Right here, I'm gonna put a whole racky rack of mech colors. Make a decision here. Blue, gray, tan, Zaku green. It's gotta be Zaku green. What am I kidding? Principality jade and Principality green. All right. Let's get some neo white for a stripe. Let's marvel at where this screw might have come from that just fell out and attacked me. Well, this thing is clearly going to spontaneously combust at some point. At least that'll be fun to watch. A little bit of paint. Do I have my water jug? I do. There's that. Here's that. And again, I'm just going to thin these down with a bit of water. Nothing else. And I'm on the Sacramento Municipal Water System, so I can just use tap water. Water is just fine. You only need to worry about it if you're on well water or other hard water sources, because that can build up in your brush. The high solid pigments we're using in this line, though, they break down just beautifully like this. Solid coverage. All right, there's my green. Here's my jade. Look at me putting paints back as soon as I use them. Who am I and what have I done with myself? Clearly not the real me. All right, start there. I might as well thin down my white. Give a few of these guys a white stripe. Because my kid thinks striping makes you pro, so gotta stripe them. Otherwise, they would not be pros. And my son would keep telling me about that. So now I can be like, sup, kid? My guys are pro too. Whoop, whoop. All right, get a towel on for painting. Drink some of my caffeine beverage. do a little dance, and get paint. All right. Pew pew. Check my pressure. Sorry, blew at the microphone there. Turn up my pressure a bit. So I am spraying high density acrylics. I'm going to start on this car because he's my favorite. Overthinned the color a bit. Not a real problem, but means a few extra coats. Just want my glasses finally. Oh, hey, that's much better. So this is the Principality green that I'm spraying now. Alright, so there's my Principality green on that one. Yeah, I'm going to add a bit of paint to the green here. It is a bit thin, and that is actually beginning to bug me. So. There we go. Better consistency. Much better coverage. Need to remind myself that just because I can compensate for overthinning doesn't mean I have to. Might as well fix the paint. Get the consistency I want. Alright, that guy's green. T-Birds green. Oh, barely on screen. Sorry about that. And that one's green. Go back and check this one real quick. Yeah, I didn't think so because it was so thin. More coat on this. Not a lot. I'm going to go for pretty high contrast on these. Go. You're good. You're good. It's time for the van with its turret. I'm gonna turn this one on its side for a second because it's a big piece. Woo! Glub, glub, glub. All right, so this is Principality Green. Wheel away, little car. So let's make sure I've got green everywhere I want it. Smoother on the roof. Not there. We get the plow actually. Imagine the plow would be painted in tin colors as well. Let's do the same over here. All right, rinse my color. And I'll switch over to Principality Jade. Cup. Which probably also needs some more paint in it. Amazing acrylic base and high solid pigments. I make incredible paint. Oh yeah. 100% chance I'm biased, but that doesn't make me wrong. All right. Find myself a business card here, and let's start modulating some pieces. both doors here after I get them sprayed. Roof action here. And I want clean spray across here, clean as I can get it. And same thing on the other side. Play with some manual focus here and see what we think of the my first Gaslands car. Some light on this. Here we are. Definitely a good start. And I will add a bit of light color right around this window. And I'll repaint that window later. Of course. Voila. Vroom, vroom. So that's done with the Principality Green and Principality Jade. I'm going to go ahead and highlight the rest of these guys real quick. Get into some detailing. The weathering line. Get that back in focus for my audience. There we are. Boom. High contrast green. Yay. All right. Card. Card. All right. Reminds me, I didn't get the plow on this one, so. Now I have. What am I missing? Oh, big green van. Yeah, might as well clean the sides clean with a mask. Draw attention to that turret, of course. And I don't want to do the sides. Up to the doors. So that means masking here. Ta-da! That's right, to the door. That's what I was doing. All right, so at this point, I have basic greens for all four of my vehicles. So let me get some manual focus. Let me clean up my brush before I forget. Come in here tomorrow. I'm very sad about everything. All right, there will be more airbrushing. Got to put on that white racing stripe. So, racing stripe. I'm gonna hurt my dirt. All right, so focus. So here is the T-Bird. It's green glory. It's high contrast green. The van. helmet wagon. My little buggy with its minigun. You can really see the plastic hard tubing I used for that now. And of course, the Chevy. Its plow. All right. So, racing stripe. I do need to do that racing stripe or I will just be sad. So, I'm going to mask with some tape. Actually, I'll use some good tape. I'm just going to live in the future and turn my phone on from here, or my air conditioner on from here. It's already 90 Fahrenheit outside. I get a bit warm doing this. All right. Get out some of my Tamiya tape. Place it on an edge like so. So I have a straight line to work with. Second piece, much like the first, only now there we go. All right, so we're set for the first racing stripe. How do I get a racing stripe on this one? Oh my goodness. I think I'm going to do that just on the helmet, so that'll have to happen later. In this case, I'm going to do it a little differently too. Still be recognizable as a team, but individualized a bit. All right, there's that one. And this one, I'm going to do right down the middle. Make sure that seam is tight. Don't want any underspray. Oh, reminder that I'm not on camera. It's good somebody's paying attention. I'm also not in focus. I don't always have help in the studio, but when I do, I like it. All right. And another piece of tape. Right, how much of that did I cover up? I need to make sure I'm lining this up right on the rocket launcher. All right, so only that outside edge, not the first rocket. Got it. Woo! Tape everywhere. All right. That should do. Line this one up the same way. Starting here first. Boom. And then down in front. Sort of, kind of, please. All right. Hold that there. Press down in front here. Oh. Oh. Right there. In this case, it might have been easier just to paint the stripe manually, but where's the fun in that? Other than, being finished by now. All right, there we are. Get on there like I want you. Stay. All right, I'm going to do that one first in the hope that it works. Paper towel. This is the Neo White, also from the Mech line. As before, over thin, but that's all right. This time I will just make it work. All right. Oh. Get the boot. We have racing straps. It's beginning to look a lot like a team. Beginning to feel like I'm covered in tape. Oh, wait. Oh, I got some here I'll have to clean up, but I'll do that with weathering. I'm going to bust out the oil paints. Before I do that, it's time to fix some of these engines. And give you guys a look at how that turned out and clean my airbrush. And. All right, focus, right about there. So here is the Chevy so far. And again, I'll clean up the window, front and back. Here's our T-Bird. The van. again. You can see what I mean with the spray here. I should have taped off the whole side, but I failed to. With its stripe here on the top. And this guy's going to wind up with its stripe right down the center of that helmet, but I don't have that yet. So let's get these two out here. Let's get some dark iron out here. Let's get some brass out of here. And get this back to an appropriate focus. Heather, thank you for tuning in. Definitely see you next time. Always great to have you here. Happy hobbying in the interim. Good luck with work. All right, so I've got my dark iron, I've got my front brush. Get the start of that. Exhausts here. Exhaust here. Some more water on that brush. Thin this down a little. Again, this is the dark iron paint I'm using at the moment. Get the engine, get the gun. Really happy with how that gun came out, given that it's just some plastic tube and some plastic rod. All right. And get the helmet. This is still my favorite color. I was genuinely, honestly giddy when I got the first sample. One of those colors. It was going to be tough to pull off the way I wanted it. We did it. All right. Missing any other engine bits? I am not. Anything here I want to get? I do not. Clean up that stripe. Ah, yes, I do. I want to get this. There we go. Do the same on the van. And get all of those on the van. Mess up and clean it up with my finger. Yeah, here's one of the little panels, the little triangle panels that I got onto the side windows of this one. bumper. This whole front section here with some metals. More of this dark iron. All right, rear bumper. The offset ladder. All of the bumper, not just some of it. And of course, my handy dandy machine gun. It's so tiny. All right, make sure I didn't miss anybody else here with some metallic iron spots. Or dark iron. This is not the dry pigment, Justin. That'll do. Awesome. Mad Max lunchbox is not a thing. That would actually be great. I would definitely put these into my Fury Road lunchbox, I'll tell you that. All right, let me get some engine metal here. I'm not saying that this is a bolt gun clone, but I never should have stopped making that paint. Oh, that Belcher's the same, my hairy butt. Oh, that's why not much paint's coming out. It's nearly empty. So this one here, yay! I have a shiny new bottle. It's almost like I use a lot of that. All right, let's find the right brush for dry brushing today. Is going to be this one. That one's still wet. That's no bueno. All right. See about doing the helmet. Go. A little bit of the engine. Good. A little bit on the front engine. Also good. There we go. All right. Sweet. So at this point, we're about at the end of the show. But I would start doing my detail work, some tire black on the tires. I might as well do some of that now. Tire black should be here. Hey, look at me. I know the order of my paints. I'm sure you're all very impressed that I know where to find them. Now, one thing you can do to make your tires or wheels more interesting is get a bit of tape, even blue painter's tape, you know, whatever non-smooth tape you happen to have lying around. Put it on, put a strip on them, cut off the excess, and hey, now you have texture. But for me, just some tire black. Keep them as is. It's funny, one wheel on each side doesn't spin. I have to glue all the wheels. I don't want them spinning. All right, here we are, a little tire black action on that one. Let's see what else I can detail up just a little bit to see what we can pull out of these guys before the end. Not anything, oh that's right, because I didn't use that neo white, I used this neo white because I was airbrushing. Wow, that is really thin. And again, the tiny skull is on the sheet too. Little skulls! What I'd have to go over to my other cabinet to get are some decals, but I've got just generic numbers and whatnot, so I'll actually put some identifiers on the doors and whatnot, stars, that sort of thing. Let's get that focus back in here. And as we wrap up, show you what we got in our short little period of time here. So here's the first of the cars I did up. And again, this has our plow from frame number 1, I believe. The side doors all riveted. The screen in the front. The wheel spikes. This car is ready to go. In this case, for my buggy, the only part that came off of one of our frames is the skull. For this one, we've got the up armor in the front, of course the other plow. I have the armor in the rear, and my favorite rocket launcher ever. It's just a fantastic little rocket launcher. Last but not least, we've got my van, which I'll need to clean up here, thanks to trying to do that white stripe. It has its racing stripe too, which I need to bring down the front of the vehicle. I forgot to do that. I'll do that with my brush. Which has the offset ladder, the turret, and then of course all of the armor on the windows. So this will quickly become my first Gaslands team, and I am ready to go. The brass frames will be available mid-June. So just give us a little while here to solicit our distributors and get these up on the site for you. We expect the cost to be $15 a frame, the same as our other brass. I just need to finish the cost analysis for that. Could be as high as $20, but somewhere in the $15 to $20 range, we will be good to go. And yeah, lots of other Gaslands accessories in the works and on the way. We have plans within plans within plans. Like I said, I want to get the movement counters, the movement templates, counters, tokens, the whole bit. Do what we can to really support the game. It's a great game, and our family's having a lot of fun with it. We hope you do too. So yeah. Oh wait, oh. That gunmetal and white look. Yeah, thank you. That was the spiky ram plow. Yeah, this is a great one. Oh, I'm all assuming that I'm still on split, huh? Yeah, that's a fun one. And you can see again, I mean, there's the detail inside there too to help support it. Oh, and the runners. Can't forget I put runners on the side of this one. Yeah, it's a great thing, and yeah, they're hitting this month, so stay tuned for that. If there's something you'd really like to see from Gaslands or another game, let us know. Obviously, knowing what you'd like to see produced next is, well, really great for us. All right, folks, happy hobbying from everyone at Secret Weapon Miniatures. Thank you again for tuning in for another Workbench Wednesday. And if this is your first time, a reminder to please like, subscribe, click the bells and whistles, all the things you need to do to make sure you stay up to date and don't miss any Workbench Wednesdays. Thanks again. Happy hobbying. See you next week.